Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you to my returning subscribers and to my new audience, thank you for stopping by. So in today's tutorial, we want to learn how to cut and sew a wrap dress. As a dress, but the upper bodice will be like a wrap top. If you are interested, let's go straight into the tutorial. The first thing I want to do, I want to draft the down part of the dress, which will be my basic skirt. I will draft a basic skirt pattern, then I will draft a wrap top pattern because I'm going to join a wrap top to a basic skirt. Then it will bring out that beautiful dress. So to draft the basic skirt pattern, I have a detailed video. I will drop the link on the description box on how to draft your basic skirt pattern. So for the basic skirt, the measurement we will need is our waist measurement, hip measurement, and the full length of the dress. And the material we need is our pattern paper, our measuring tape, our pencil, our rulers, and our paper scissors. So let's get started. As you can see on my pattern paper, I have drawn my lines already. The first line here represents my waistline, and this other line represents my hip line. So when you measure from your waist to your hip, whatever measurement you have, then you draw a line there. For the one I'm working on is 9 inches. As you can see, from the hip, from the waist to the hip is 9 inches. Then from my waist to my waist knee, that is 2 inches above the knee level, I've measured it, that is 18 inches. So when you measure yours, you will know how many inches it is. When you measure from your waist to your knee point, whatever measurement you have, you come up by 2 inches. You can decide to come up by 4 inches or 3 inches. It depends. Then my full length, the full length of the clothes will be 42 inches. The full length of the dress will be 42 inches. So when I minus the upper part, which will be 16 inches from 42 inches, it will give me this 26. So the next thing will be for me to impute the waist I'm working with is 35 inches. So when you measure around your waist, whatever measurement you have, you divide it by 4. So when I divide the one I'm working with by 4, it gives me 8.25 plus my 1 inch dart. That will give me 9.25. For the dart, I'm going to make use of 0.5 on each side. So we'll measure my 9.25 here. Then I will come to my waist. Then I will come to my hip line. I will measure around my hip. Whatever measurement I have, I will divide that by 4. So the one I'm working with, when I divide by 4, it gives me 10.75. So I'll mark my 10.75 there. I'll mark the same measurement on my waist knee. The same measurement for the hip, I will mark it on the waist knee and the full length as well. Then the full length line. Yeah, I'll use my hip curve to join the line between. I will join this my waist line to my hip line. Then I will connect this one with a straight line. Can you see? Then I will impute my dart. Remember that we added 1 inch dart. So from the center front, I will measure my bust span measurement, divide by 2. You measure your bust span, that's nipple to nipple measurement, you divide by 2. Whatever measurement you have, that is where you will impute your darts. The one I'm working with is 9. When I divide by 2, that gives me 4.5. Can you see? Then for my skirt, for the front, I will come down by 5 inches. So I'll draw a straight line. Then I want to make use of half an inch on both sides. Since we made use of 1 inch that intake, I'll mark my half an inch on both sides. Can you see? Then I'll connect it to this, my 5 inches point. So that is my dart. For the shaping for my front skirt, I'll determine how tight I want it to be. If I want it to be that pencil or if I want it to be free. So for this particular dress, I want to minus half an inch from my hip measurement. I don't want it to be that pencil. But if you want it to be that tight at the knee point, then you can minus maybe 1 inch or 1.5. So I just want to minus half an inch. So I just want to minus 0.75. That's 3/4 inch. So I will mark 3/4 inch on my full length line. Can you see? I connect that with a straight line. Then I will blend this point from this hip point. I will connect it here. You can decide to use a straight line, but I want to use this curve. Remember to blend here. So now the next thing I will do will be for me to add my seam allowance. So I'll add 1 inch seam allowance all through. I'm marking from here. So I'll connect my points. For the hem, I make use of 1 inch for the folding. Remember, if it was just normal skirt, I would have come up by half an inch here, then come down by 1 inch here, or 1/4 of an inch. But since I'm joining it to the upper part, no point of doing that. So I'll cut my front pattern now. Upper part, I'm going to join to the upper bodice with half of an inch. So I will add that seam allowance of half of an inch. That's 0.5 inch. So that is our front pattern. The next thing now will be for me to draft the back, then I will make use of the front to draft the back. So for the back, we are going to use our front to trace the back pattern. But before then, I have demarcated my zipper allowance. So my zipper allowance, I'm using 2 inches zipper allowance, and I've marked it out. So now I will place my front pattern starting from the zipper allowance. I will mark those points, which is my waist line here. Mark it here as well. So what I'll do now is for me to join those lines. So this is, remember, this is my seam allowance, this is my waist line, this is my hip line, and this is my knee line. That is my waist knee. This is my full length, and this is my folding allowance. So what I will do next is for me to impute my horizontal measurement. Let's start from the waist. So the next thing is for you to measure around your waist. When you measure around your waist, whatever measurement you have, you divide it by 4. The one I'm working with, when I divide by 4, it gives me 8.25 plus 1 inch that. Remember, we made use of 1 inch that. That gives me 9.25. So I will mark it down. I'll mark same on the joining allowance. So measure around your hip, whatever measurement you have, then you divide by 4. The one I'm working with, when I divide by 4, it gives me 10.75. So I will mark my 10.75 here. Then I will connect with my hip curve. You can decide to use your free hand to connect it, but if you have your curve ruler, then you can use your curve ruler. Then the next thing is for me to impute the same measurement that I have for the hip. I will impute same on the knee and full length line. I will impute my 10.75 here. Impute same on the full length line. So connect this one again with my curve, but not that curvy. Then I'll use my straight ruler to join the down part. But here you can decide to use a straight ruler as well. It's still the same thing. Make sure you blend any sharp points you might have. What I'll do next is the shaping of the knee line. Remember, for the front, I minus 0.75 from the hip measurement. So for the back, I will minus 7. Divide that 0.75 into 2. Then I will mark whatever I have here, and I will mark whatever I have here as well. Then you can decide to like use minus 1 inch. It depends on how tight you want the knee line to be. For mine, I don't want it that tight. So that's why I minus only 0.75. You can decide to minus 1, you can decide to minus 1.5, even 2 inches. It depends on what you want. It's your choice. So what next I will do is for me to shape the boot so that it will balance well on the clothes. So on this boot side, I will go out by half of an inch. Mark my half of an inch. Then I will connect to this point. Then on the full length line, I'm going to minus the same 0.75 that I minus from the hip line. Then I'll divide the same 0.75 by 2. Then I'll impute whatsoever I have on the full length line as well. I'll connect it. I'll connect this one. Then to the hip line. Can you see? Then I will connect this to my waist line. Remember to blend any sharp points. So the next thing is for me to impute my darts. So I'll measure my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. I have 4.5. So when you measure your bust span, divide it by 2. Whatever measurement you have, you mark it down. Then remember our dart intake was 1 inch, so half inches on each side. Then I'll come down by 4.5. So connect my dart leg. Can you see? That is my dart. So the last thing now will be for me to add my seam allowances. So I'm starting my seam allowance from here, from this other shaping line, not from this one. So we are making use of 1 inch seam allowance. So I will mark my 1 inch all through. So I will connect. So I'll mark same on this other side, 1 inch as well, starting from this other line, not this one. Start from here. That is our new seam allowance. There is a detailed video on how to draft your skate, your basic skate pattern, so you can go. So check the link on the description box. You will see a detailed video which will make it easier. If you don't really understand what is going on here, you'll get to understand that video because it's detailed. I'll drop the link on the description box. Make sure you watch the video. So that is our buff pattern. I'm going to cut my pattern now. You need to fold your pattern paper into 2. So my pattern is on fold. So for the wrap top, it's basically your basic bodice. You know how to draft your basic bodice. It's just to draft your basic bodice, then do the alteration. But if you know how to draft your basic bodice, I have a detailed video on how to draft your basic bodice pattern. I will leave the link on the description box. So this is my shoulder line. I'm taking this to be my shoulder line. From my shoulder line to my bust point is 10 inches. So measure from your shoulder line to your bust point, whatever measurement you have, then you impute it. Then from the shoulder line to the waist is 17 inches for the front. So I will mark my 17 inches. So measure from your shoulder to your waist, whatever you have, you do same. I believe you can see what I'm doing. So the next thing is for me to impute a neck measurement. I'm making use of 3 by 3 inches. As the wideness of the neck will be 3, and how deep the neck will be 3. That's right. So connect 1. The next thing is for me to impute my shoulder measurement. You measure your shoulder, whatever measurement you have, you divide by 2. The one I'm working with is 17. When I divide by 2, that gives me 8.5. Then I will slope the shoulder by 1.5 inches. I will connect the line. The next thing is for me to determine my armhole measurement. For you to get your armhole measurement, you divide your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. So I will connect. I will draw a straight line here. impute my shoulder measurement here as well, so that I will have a straight line. You know, accuracy is very important when it comes to pattern drafting, because the fitting of the clothes depends on the pattern. Can you see? Then I will come up by 3 inches here on the 3 inches point. I'll come in by half of an inch. Then I'll impute my bust measurement on my chest line, this armhole line. I will impute my bust measurement. When you measure around your bust, whatever measurement you have, you divide by 4. So the one I'm working with, after dividing it by 4, I have 10.25. Mark my 10.25. Then I will connect it with my armhole curve. From that, my bust measurement to my shoulder slope. Then the next thing is for me to impute my waist measurement. Measure around your waist, then whatever measurement you have, I divide by 4. The one I'm working with, when I divide by 4, it gives me 8.25 plus 1 inch. That gives me 9.25. Then I'll connect the line. Then the next thing is for me to impute my waist dart. For me to impute my waist dart, I'll measure my bust span. First, I'll measure from my nipple to the other nipple. Then I'll divide by 2. So divide your bust span measurement by 2. The one I'm working with is 9. When I divide by 2, that gives me 4.5, and I will impute that on my bust line. I will impute them on my waistline. Then I will connect the points. The waist that we make use of 1 inch, which will give us 0.5 dart intake. So I will impute my 0.5 on each side. Then I will connect it to my bust point. That is my waist dart. For my bust dart, I'm making use of the difference between my waist measurement for the front and the waist measurement for the back. When you measure from your shoulder to your waist for the front, you'll notice that it's different from what you have for the back. So the difference between my front and my back waist measurement is 2. So I will input it as my bust dart. When I hold it, it will balance off the clothes. So I will connect it to my bust point here. Can you see? So that is basically everything about your basic bodice. So now I will add my joining allowance for the shoulder. I'll make use of half of an inch. Then for the side seam, I'm going to make use of 1.5. So I'll connect it. I'll extend my that line, the folding allowance of 1 inch. So I've got my pattern. So this is my basic bodice. I have cut it out. So I will trace my darts. So I'm tracing my darts now. So that is my waist dart. I will trace my bust dart as well. So those are my darts. So what I will do on this end of my line, this is my side seam, I will come up by 2 inches. Here I will come by 1 inch, by 1 inch. Then I will connect that 1 inch point to these 2 inches. The essence of this my 2 inches, I don't want the neckline to be too deep, which can reveal my bust. But if you don't mind, you can come down to your that leg. It's just your choice. Can you see? So I will cut this out now. Can you see it pass through the bust point? I will cut this out now. Can you see? So what I will do now is for me to take a new pattern paper, then carry this other side that I have cut. I will trace it out by turning it this way and place it on top of this other pattern paper. Then I will trace out everything. Then I'll use my tracing wheel. So I will cut my pattern. So for the back, to draft my back upper bodice, this line from here to here is what I keep for my zipper allowance. And this is my shoulder line, my chest line, my waistline. When you measure from your shoulder to your waistline, whatever measurement you have for the back, then you impute. Remember how we derive our armhole? You divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. That is how we derive this line. Whatever you have, then you draw. So impute my neck measurement starting from this my zipper allowance side. Remember, we made use of 3 for the front, so the bag will still be 3 inches neck width. The depth for the bag will be 1 inches. But you can decide to use maybe 4 here for both front and back, and maybe 2 here. It depends on what you want. Then I will connect. Can you see? That is my back neck. So I will impute my shoulder measurement. Remember, we made use of 8.5. Remember to measure your own and divide by 2. Whatever you have, you impute. Then I'll slope my shoulder for the back by 1 inch. Remember, for the front was 1.5 inches. For the back, making use of 1 inch. Then I'll impute my shoulder measurement here as well. Then I'll connect with a straight line. So on this line, that is my chest line, I will impute my bust measurement of 10.75. Then I will connect my shoulder slope to my bust measurement. That's my armhole. Then I will impute my waist measurement. Remember, the waist you are working with, the waist I'm working with is 8.25. That's your round waist you divide by 4, whatever measurement you have, plus that intake of 1 inch, which give me 9.25 for this particular measurement I'm using. So you do yours, divide your waist, then add your darts. So for the waist that you measure your bust span measurement, divide by 2 as we did for the front, impute it on the chest line, impute same on the waistline. Then draw a straight line to join them. On the chest line, you come down by 1 inch. Come down by 1 inch. Then on down here, measure your ½ inch on both sides. Then you can decide to make use of 0.75 that intake. It depends on what you actually want. Then you connect on that leg. Can you see our dart? So to tighten the waistline, to eliminate that bulging that you see when someone wears a fitted cloth, you will see the zipper bulging out. So to eliminate that zipper folding on the waistline, you come in by ½ of an inch. Knock your ½ of an inch. Then you connect it to 2 inches below the neckline, or you can decide to connect it directly to the neckline. It doesn't really make any difference. So I'll connect mine to my neckline. Can you see it? Then I will mark my zipper allowance. The zipper allowance I'm making use of will be 1.25. Remember, my zipper allowance is starting from this point, not this point. It's starting from this point. The zipper allowance of 1.25. Mark same here. Same here. So because of that, our zipper allowance will not be straight because the back is not straight. Can you see? So I will add my joining allowance for the shoulder. I'm using ½ of an inch, the same as we did for the front. Connect it. For the side seam, remember we made use of 1.5 inches. Then the joining allowance, remember we make use of ½ of an inch. I'm extending my that leg. So I will cut my pattern now. Remember to look out for the cutting and the sewing of this outfit. See you on the next video. Bye.